Law of assumption, what is it and how you can use it to transform your life and to have a life you love, deserve and desire. Hi everybody, I'm Natalie and this is As the Pennies Drop. This is a coaching channel to guide you to create a life you love, deserve and desire. I share with you all of my authentic experiences, tools and techniques, NLP tools and techniques as well to guide you to create a life that you deserve. And if you are interested in finding out more about my coaching packages, if you're looking for further guidance, then please click on the link below in the description box and that will take you to my website, asthepenniesdrop.com, with a variety of different coaching packages there. Okay, so law of assumption. Law of assumption has absolutely transformed my life. And I can't tell you how grateful I am of discovering it and bringing it into my life. So what I'm going to start by doing is sharing with you a definition of law of assumption. And then I'm going to talk to you about how it is so important to using this when you want to create a successful life and manifest your dream desires too. Okay, so law of assumption dictates everything that happens in the world. Whatever you assume in the world to be true, regardless if it really is true or not, will harden into fact. So to become successful at creating a life we desire means to become successful about managing our assumptions. So to break that down, an assumption is something we believe to be true without any proof, without any evidence. And if we are consistently focused on a negative outcome regarding regardless of whatever the situation is, we will get that to harden into fact, and that will be what reflects back at you. And this is where you can completely transform your life by just flipping it on its head and doing the opposite. So we're programmed to think negatively. It's so much easier to think of a negative outcome rather than a positive outcome. And when we do focus on the negatives, like I said, they will harden into fact as much as the positives. So it's like, well, why would we focus on a situation with a negative outcome over a positive outcome? Because if we're looking to successfully manifest different things into our life, and things are showing up that we don't like because we're putting an assumption on that, that is what is going to come back to us. And therefore, it's going to block you from getting your manifestations to come to you. So let's think of an example. So I can think of loads where before I knew about law of assumption, where I have manifested through an assumption things that I actually didn't want, but assumed to be true. So let's think about receiving a text or not receiving a text, should I say. So for example, I have sent a text to somebody who I've been going out with and never got a response. A few hours would pass and never got a response. And I would put that down to being meaning that that was unusual because I would normally get a response. And I would then in the past start to think, oh, they don't like me anymore. They don't want to be with me anymore, or they're cheating on me, or they're going to dump me. And I literally would get myself into such an anxious state just over the fact that a text had been delayed. But the thing is, when I remember doing that the first time, and I had such anxieties and energies around the fact that I'd been ignored, I then sent a text going, I know this is what's happening. I know that you're cheating. I know that blah, 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 really negative, really emotionally reacting negative response. And yeah, I didn't hear from them again. So what we believe to be true, whether it is true or not, will harden into fact. Now, if you have a scenario like that in your life, and then, fast forward maybe a year or a few years, and the same situation happens where you send a text to somebody and they don't respond to you, in a timely manner, or they normally respond really, really quickly, and this time they haven't, and it's a few hours in, your programmed mind is going to say to you, see, told you so, they're doing it again, just like that other person did. So then again, you are going to create an assumption that they don't want to be with you. And you will either then react, going, you know what, been here, done that before, mate. Message, emotionally react, boom, 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 done. Same outcome. They don't want to be with you anymore. And we do this because that is a pattern of belief about ourselves and our self-worth. So if the text had come, I'd sent the text and I hadn't got a response for a few hours, now, what would I think? They're busy. And I would just crack on with my life, my day, whatever it is I'm doing. I would just think they're busy. And that is it. That is literally it. I would just say they're busy, they'll message when they can. There's no reason why they're not going to message. They'll just message when they can. They're just clearly busy. That's all. Done. Forget it. Let it go. Boom. And that is what reflects back at me time and time again. And that could be with friends. That could be with a loving relationship. But that is now how I choose to see somebody not responding to a text in a timely manner. They're just busy. I mean, isn't that much nicer and much easier? A more relaxing way to look at things, rather than, oh my God, what have I done? I must be the worst person in the world. I know I'm going to get dumped again. Because what we really believe to be true will harden into fact, whether it's true or not. So when it comes to law of assumption, and this could be about a job, it could be about somebody might have said something to you. I'll give you another example. There was a couple that I knew that were getting married, and there was a person at the wedding that went up to the groom and said, "Why are you marrying her?" And this was actually in front of the bride. And the bride took it to meaning that she was the one that wasn't worthy. So she carried around this, I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, I don't matter, I'm less than belief for quite a long time, until, we were able to kind of release that belief, because that was the assumption that this person took with it. Whereas when we looked at it differently, there was no proof that that's what the person meant. The person could have meant the groom wasn't good enough to be with her, but we always focus on the negative. We always focus on the negative, and then we hold that, and then that creates a pattern of, in that instance, of not being good enough. In the instance of the text, it was me not feeling worthy enough, not feeling good enough. What have I done? It's got to be my fault. I know what they're going to do. And it really isn't true. It's just a belief that we have about ourselves. Our self-concept and law of assumption go hand in hand. We have to believe in the positive to create that into our lives. And we do that by starting with our self-concept. So if you feel like you're worthy of being in a loving relationship and getting a text and always receiving texts or compliments or messages, and sometimes if the texts are delayed, it doesn't matter, because you're safe and secure in your own skin, and that they really love you and they want to be with you and they are with you, and it's just a slight delay on a text, and they'll text when they can. That will be what happens, because you're reflecting out, the energy of confidence, of knowing, of abundance, and that will be what reflects back at you. So, I've just given like a couple of examples here, but we want to look at whatever the situation is, whatever it is that we want. So if it's a loving relationship that we want, and you want to be with that person, but you're saying to yourself that you're too ugly, or you're too fat, or you're too thin, or you're too tall, or you're too short, or they won't find you attractive, they might think you're stupid. If you're thinking like that, that is going to be what reflects back at you. So why not look at changing your self-concept by, you know, especially if it's somebody that you want to kind of, you know, want to go out with, to be this, you're incredible, you're gorgeous, you're stunning. Anyone would be lucky to be with you. You actually get the choice of who you get to choose, because you get so many people that ask you out. You're the one that's got the power. You're the one that says yes or no to whether you want to go out, not the other way around. You see, when we start telling ourselves that story, that's the story, that's the assumption we have about ourselves, will be pushed out, and that is what comes back at us. So, law of assumption: assume the positive over the negative, because either will harden into fact. And work on your self-concept, because you really can be anything that you want to be. You can wake up one morning and you can go, right, today I'm going to be the most confident, sassy, sexy, you know, person today. And you can walk around and own your stuff, own it. Or you can choose to be unconfident, not sexy, unlovable, you know, walk down with your, you know, with your head down. So it's your choice. But I just wanted to share this video because the law of assumption, and together with self-concept, really has transformed my life and the life of my clients too. So I really hope that's helped. Again, if you would like more guidance with this, then please click the link below and I will be happy to have a chat with you. You can email me at natalie@asthepenniesdrop.com or just look at the website for the variety of packages that I provide for my clients. And that is it from me, and I will be back soon. Take care, everybody.